I said rim jobs for the boys in blue.
And welcome back to the Beyond the Pine podcast number 15 with ya boys and girl.
I'm Steven Suptic.
James Ginsis.
Clinton James Kibb.
Autumn Farrell.
Thank you for joining us, Autumn. Today's not going to be a fun podcast for you. Absolutely not.
All right.
It's all about you and
But
Bruce.
before we get into Autumn's relationship and everything, that's really just awful about that. We're going to go into a sponsor, because we have a sponsor for this podcast too, actually. How crazy is that? It's
Whoa.
been pretty good the past couple of weeks. We don't have a Patreon, so this is one of the best ways you can support us is by checking out that link in the down below, in the down under.
The down under.
If a product we're promoting interests you guys, then by all means, please help us and use the codes that we offer. But, you know, it's just
It's
ain't
up
no
to you.
thing.
If you like
It's
us,
really- it's up to
if you really like us, you would, but it's up to you.
The first sponsor that we have is a watch that we all wear constantly.
Honestly.
Truly. We wore it all to the streamies, and I've been wearing the watch I chose ever since. It's this one with like a light tan, what is it called, a band?
I wish I had the tan band, but I wasn't part of that plan.
I should only be using watches that have a thin band like that because I have very skinny wrists.
No, it looks good though.
Thanks, man.
I like bigger faced watches. I have this really cool one that I got in London, and it's like a pretty big head. So this is like a mid-size, really good. I think that one looks good on you because it looks a little bit bigger. That one looks like a girl's watch on Kib.
Doesn't look like a girl's
Autumn
watch.
doesn't have any wrists.
Yeah.
So
So that leads me to the sponsor for this podcast in the very beginning. It's Vincero Collective. So thank you, Vincero, for sponsoring this podcast. At Vincero Collective, a luxury watch doesn't have to cost a fortune. Here's the secret. Most brands mark up their watches 6 to 12 times before it gets to you. So guess who's eating that cost, everybody?
I think it's us.
classic us.
Ring ding a ding, everybody. So while unlike other brands, Vincero's years of manufacturing experience allows them to create innovative and luxurious timepieces and deliver them at a ridiculously fair price. I've been wearing this one right here with a tan band, like I mentioned before, for quite a while. And
More importantly.
mine's important as well.
But more
Is this
important.
champagne, or was that rose gold?
I think we said it was champagne, and Jeremy's is Vincero.
Jeremy's not here today.
I'm so lost with who you are today.
So a watch like this can retail for upwards of, I'd say, like $500. But with Vincero, you can get one for a little over $100.
Another cool thing about Vincero is that they have 3,000 five-star reviews. They have a free 24-month warranty that comes with the watch, and they've got free shipping on all their orders. And I definitely recommend you guys checking this out.
With full-grain Italian leather bands and genuine Italian marble, you won't believe that they just start for literally over $100
I couldn't believe it
Yeah.
until I saw it.
until you saw it. So whether you're dressing up for the streamies or you're just going out for a nice little dinner with your humdinger, Vincero has it has all the versatility you need.
It has all the versatility you need.
Oh no, I already said that.
It has all the versatility you'll need.
Thank you.
Impress at a glance with bold, uncompromising timepieces from Vincero Collective.
Hey, my watch is Vincero.
Finally, to receive 15% off of your very own Vincero watch, you go to vincerocollective.com/pine. That's VINCERO collective.com/pine. Build your legacy today at vincerocollective.com. Thank you, Vincero Collective, for sponsoring this podcast.
Thank you guys.
Thank
you guys
you.
rock.
Thank
Good
you so
watches.
much.
Good faith in us. We
Thanks
appreciate
for the
you.
watch.
Yeah. And we will continue to sell out.
Watches. Imagine if we brought that much traffic. They're sold out in every style, and there's
No watch in the world is able to be bought now.
The podcast is available on iTunes, by the way. I just want to say sorry for everything that's happened recently with our Rooster Teeth First process. I am late to the game on figuring out the technical side of the Rooster Teeth and Verve website, and I'm struggling, but we're getting past it. We've got a gaming video going up soon. We've got podcasts that are going up on time on First. I think it's 2 days. Is it 48 hours before? Yeah. We've got a lot more content on First, and we've got short films in the future. So once again, very sorry. Also, I have to apologize because I didn't upload the podcast audio to iTunes, and it was a few days late. Turns out I had it private on there, and I didn't make it public. So
it's okay. It happens.
Yeah.
We're a new company.
It happens, dude.
the good news is everybody's back. Nobody's going on break soon or anything, and we have all the time in the world to really hammer this
Christmas.
out.
Everyone's leaving at Christmas.
Oh, also, I'm leaving,
He's leaving
tomorrow
tomorrow.
night for Seattle
For a week.
for Thanksgiving.
Oh, it's tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
You're going to Seattle. Oh, that's going to be fun.
I love
Nice.
Seattle.
I love Seattle
Super
too.
cool.
Well, before we get into everything that you're doing there, why don't we read some podcast reviews on
Let's do
iTunes?
it.
So this will hopefully inspire you guys to hop onto our iTunes link and review it yourself, whether
It's-
it be a 1-star review or a 5-star review.
I would call it a shout out almost.
Yeah.
Looking for a shout out on a YouTube channel with decent amount of views? Do it.
Kib needs it.
I love when my vape just
We
automatically
need you to do
locks.
that.
It's really cool.
Let me quit vaping. So
You quit vaping, or did you just leave your vape out in your car?
I left it in the car. Yeah, I left it. But we will be quitting
I
someday.
saw a comment that was like, dude, I can't even hear you guys over the vape, and it's annoying me. It makes me want to stop listening to the podcast.
But I've also heard people say the soothing sound of the vaping in the background.
Does
is
this
very
soothe you
nice.
guys?
Well, that's why I hit it here.
They can still hear it softly, but I think
That's nice though.
that's what makes our podcast different from others. So if you don't like it, we'll stop.
Just know that the calm I feel, I want transcended onto everybody listening.
You gotta go.
Ooh, that was a very nice little hit
I
I
want to
just
do a
took.
nicotine ASMR.
Hey, can I get a little cooch of that, dude? A little pooter of that?
All right, let's read those
And
podcast reviews,
The cool
baby.
thing is that
All
we
right.
are going to be quitting vaping at one point, and we're going to make it a whole thing.
Yeah, it's not
Sure,
that distant
dude.
into the future, really.
No, I could see it happening.
It's not that distant in the future. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I could see it
Truly.
happening like
Truly.
2-3 years.
2-3 years, yeah, after we've all developed
3
popcorn
years,
lung.
perhaps 2 or 3 weeks.
How dangerous is popcorn lung? Is that a real
This is
thing?
how it sounds when you breathe.
Bad.
It's like a bong.
Can I get it?
Ooh, I see
Or do you wanna do
Fareed
the
coming.
first
I
one?
see Fareed coming. I
Alright,
see
let's do
Fareed
it.
coming.
Freeze,
Jesus.
God damn it.
Okay,
God
let's
damn
be
it.
talking about him. Let's be talking about him. Okay.
Wait, he can't open the door.
Fareed literally is so fucked up. Fareed is so fucked
I'm-
up, dude.
So tired of like his stature.
If I see
Honestly,
Fareed
his
in this
feet,
fucking
he's got-
office again,
fuck Fareed
I
up.
fucking
Ronald
hate
McDonald
Fareed,
gonna
dude.
fuck him up.
I fucking hate him. I know we're on the podcast,
he's-
but I fucking
I'm
hate
sick of how
Fareed.
tall he is. He's
I
taller than all of
fucking
us.
hate
Sick
him.
of tolerating him.
He's walking around, and I don't know why I hate him, but I hate him.
Oh, guys, shit, he came in.
Oh, fuck, that's Fareed.
Oh, what's up, Fareed? Hey, Fareed.
Losers.
So let's read those first podcast
Dude,
topics.
can you just flip the coin first right now? You look
I mean,
exactly like him.
Say it
iTunes
again.
reviews.
Just say it.
So let's read those first iTunes reviews, everybody.
All right.
Fareed, you want to come on in and hop on the couch back there? With keep those glasses on, by the way.
We
here,
know
let's-
you're
All right. The first
Autumn's
one
gonna read the
says.
first one. Autumn's gonna read the first one.
Shut. The first one says, such fun, such good. Wow, this podcast is great. The guys in Autumn are so fun to listen to and get to know. Beyond the Pine is a look behind the scenes at their alternative lifestyle blogs, as well as a comedy show of quick wit and boisterous belittling of one another in a fun way. Mad respect for Steven and the boys. Just glisten.
So
Just
who said that?
listen.
That was a really good review.
S.G. Hodgson. Thank
Cool.
you.
Thanks,
Thank
man.
you, SG Hodgson.
Yeah,
one.
very
Thank you,
nice.
him or her. That was really good. That's a good like little assessment and like a really quick
Yeah.
little summary of like what this is compared to the show and stuff. It's
I
cool.
saw-
And much more. So you'll
I
have to bottle a lot of
saw
it.
a comment on the Reddit about how you and Kib, they were like worried that you guys had actual beef with each other.
It was because
Me
when
and
I
Kib?
expressed my
no,
annoyance.
James and
Oh.
Kib. Yeah.
Oh, I thought people were worried about.
Yeah, dude,
I
we
didn't
laughed
see
about that
that.
so much. Someone thought James and I like had this like undertone of like hostility
Never.
against
We're
each
literally
other.
probably closer than anyone in
Dude,
the world.
speculation is so. I mean, I think
It can
it's
ruin
funny.
things, but it's also funny.
It's
yeah.
funny, but it's also kind of annoying. I saw one.
Super annoying.
I saw one on the Reddit that was
really
like.
is.
I hate you.
I posted
You're
I
ugly.
posted a tweet about my car, and asking if anybody has a driveway that I could put it in for a while. And I saw, which is a very real thing for me because it's like it's a lease, and I don't have anywhere to
Yeah,
put it
well,
right
you have
now.
to
It's
put it
not like I
somewhere.
can sell it for parts. I have to keep it for the next 2 years, switch it over to a
Yaha.
finance agreement,
Yaha.
and figure that shit out, which is a nightmare. But I posted that, and then I responded to one of my friends who was like saying that I smoke,
Dude, that's a crazy story.
that I smoke cigarettes or something. He's like, dude, you can't smoke cigarettes, and I'm
Yeah.
like,
I remember
responded-
I said that to you. I was
Yeah.
like, what the hell? Someone thinks we smoke cigarettes.
Yeah,
dude.
it was my friend Nick, and I looked. I responded to him because I was like, "What the what?"
Yeah, you were
the
like,
fuck?
"What?"
Yeah, and turns out it was just a joke on a podcast that he misinterpreted. And then someone posted that line of tweets, like the first one about the car, and then my response to him, which was a little weird. And they were like, "Is Steven having a mental breakdown?" And then I was just
Jesus,
like,
That's
man.
0 to 100.
That's
real
0
fast.
to 100 so fast.
"Oh, you'll know if I have a mental breakdown. I would crash my
It'll
car."
be public.
I have something funny that like makes me laugh because when people comment, like younger, I assume that it's younger people commenting on the
Nice
on the
finger.
actual vlog. Like the last video, someone commented, "I feel like Kib's having nightmares because he feels like Parker's mad at him and that he won't get over it if he doesn't." And it's just like exactly what we're showing and what everyone already knows, but they're commenting it like they figured it out. It's so
There was
cute.
another good one.
It's so funny.
I can't remember exactly what it was, but I showed someone else here. This one was like, I mean, it's someone who's coming from a nice place. It's not like something.
No, it's never
but
bad,
they
but
were
it's
like,
just like
holy
that's
shit! I
exactly
just
what we
realized
did.
this very obvious thing.
Yeah.
And the people in the comments, there was like, whoa, and then there was one other comment that was like, is this thread serious?
That's so funny.
I
I love
know,
it.
that's how we
I love
think
it when
about it.
like other YouTubers like tear each other apart who are like, "You're a fucking idiot for saying that."
That's so
No
funny.
one's an idiot except
like
for idiots.
It's like someone saying, you know, with all these like hints of Parker being in the videos, I think they might bring him back.
he's been in like 5
Everybody's
videos.
tweeting, I'm coming back.
I know. Okay, next, the next review. Can I read this one?
Yeah, of course.
I'm asking Autumn because I don't know which
Yeah,
one's
you
good.
can.
Cool. This one is almost as good as Cow Chop. 5 out of 5, boys. By Panic Fallout 101. I would have to rate Sugar Pine P. septum a solid 12 out of 13 black cats. Cow Chop, however, is a good 14 out of 13 because they're seasonal pot stickers. Have a nice
Not
day.
that sad.
Remember that one day you too can be a furry. That shouldn't have been there.
It said seasoned pot stickers.
Anyone else?
What
Here,
did
James,
Kip say?
I'll have this
Kip says
prepared for you.
Seasonal.
So like Christmas
And
themed pot
who said that
stickers?
one?
Eggnog.
Panic! Exclamation mark. Fallout 101.
Wow, what are their favorite bands?
There's a lot to unpack with that.
Panic. Fallout the disco.
Okay, just
Oh, careful.
why do you have that plugged in?
I don't know.
Why are you so
All right,
sweaty?
am I the top one?
Me?
Yes.
The top one?
You smell like
Kip?
shit.
Kip?
I'm kidding.
no,
Kip.
she already read the top one.
You
So you're
don't.
gonna read this one. Unacceptable.
That's what you
Cool.
say.
This one.
This one is titled NSFW, which
Not
for
safe
you,
for work, baby.
which for your layman means not safe for work. And this is by Rose Herring. But honestly, what is SFW nowadays? Any hoots, I've been
I don't know why I love any hoots. That's great.
I've been watching Steven's channel since I was in the 7th grade, 2012, which makes me an OG subscriber. I'm now a freshman in college and have to say that I'm so proud of what has become of this group of chicken boys and girls. Keep it up and never forget your roots. P.S. I still have and wear a Benny shirt.
That's great. The Benny shirt was actually a really terrible, expensive shirt that we made a long time ago.
cool.
I don't know.
It was-
I don't know that one.
It was terrible. We had a professional artist paint it, and it was just this really gross image of what actually could look like Alfredo.
Alfredo's child, maybe. His love child with Autumn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have a. Oh my God, this is a 4-star review.
Oh no, delete it, dude.
This is from James Loves Ridley Scott 12. That's why.
That's me.
James left this review. He's a bit of a.
James loves. He's a Ridley Scott fan.
And they said, "Hey friends, well, that's reaching. I decided to give you guys a 4-star rating for your great podcast. The only reason I'm not giving it 5 stars is that every single time you have a guest sitting in the far left seat, their mic covers their face. Please help." Yeah, that's an issue for sure.
Super easily fixable because it's mirrored, so it's the same setup on that side if we just were to do that.
Yeah, the only issue is that we don't have the same lens, I think.
Oh,
and
Placement
Placement
wider?
of it, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's not wider. It's the same millimeter. It's just different placement of the camera versus like stuff like that.
yeah, like
So-
today we're using because we can't spend money, the 6D on this side with the 24-105 millimeter lens, which is our best lens, and then we have a 5D, which is our best camera, using a 50 millimeter lens that's like 4 or 5 years old.
Still a good lens.
Even
though.
though it's a great camera too, it really is. I was just shit talking it, but like we used it 2
The
years
60?
ago.
I was talking about that
even
lens.
because we also
I'm
rent
talking about 60.
our friend, well, he's not our friend, he's Mimi's friend Sam. We rent his 5D with their amazing 24 to 70 millimeter lens, but even still, there's differences with that, and it
Yeah, yeah.
frustrates me.
That
because
is like, if you look at the superiority of the 24 to 105 versus the 50, the 24 to 70 is like far superior than the 24 to 105.
Really? Yeah. So that Sam guy's lens is better than our
Oh,
lens.
absolutely! It's a
That's the
Really?
best.
They use that
L
lens on
that-
our with the C200 on the
Oh
woods.
wow!
for-
Is
for
it's
a
not
lot
a
of
prime
it.
lens, right? No, of course
It's
not.
not prime,
Yeah.
but it is like it's their best L glass, and it
Wow.
goes down to a 2.8.
It's
Wow.
unbelievable.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I wish
should
I
get
had
one
my
of those.
camera fixed because I have a 2.8. It's crop sensor, but it still looks really cinematic.
Oh, on the 70?
You have a
yeah,
Tamron
my
lens,
70D.
right?
Yeah, my Tamron. Yeah, I really like that lens.
Does Canon make Tamron or does Canon make Sigma?
Canon
They
makes Sigma.
They do?
I thought Sigma
Yeah.
was its own company. I thought the
I
camera.
think they're owned by Canon. I could be entirely wrong, but I'm pretty sure.
No, I think they make Tamron.
Are you sure? No, Tamron's made by like a.
Pretty sure it's Canon.
Like,
Because
it's not
Sigma
even made
makes
in
their
the
own
US.
cameras too.
Autumn, could you look this up?
Yeah,
Sure.
please.
Who makes Tamron or
I'm so
Sigma?
curious.
That's interesting. I thought they were both their own separate companies.
No, it's
And
kind
they
of
very
like
well
how
could be.
it's kind of like how Toyota makes Lexus and then Honda makes Acura.
That's another reason why I like Lexus.
Do you know that Audi makes Lamborghini?
Yeah, you told me that. I was mind blown.
The
I didn't know that.
Huracan-
Is that new?
The Huracan, no, it's been a while. The Huracan has the same engine as the R8.
What does Mini Cooper make? Doesn't Mini Cooper make something?
Autumn,
did-
a Fiat, and that's made by, I think, Ferrari.
No, definitely not made.
Or no, sorry, Alfa Romeo is made by Ferrari.
I like Alphas.
They use on the
Autumn
Quadrifoglio,
wrote,
they use
does
the same
Canon
engine
make Canon?
as the 488.
That was the first thing she wrote.
Sorry, I'm Freudian.
Shit.
You guys, nobody
How do
cares
you
about this
spell
besides
this?
me. But on December 10th, McLaren's releasing, I believe it's the P15.
Let's all get one.
That's
They're
cool.
releasing
That's
BMW. Okay.
Oh,
Thank
Mini
you,
Cooper
Fareed.
BMW. By the way, Fareed, we have 2 sponsors for this podcast. We had 2 sponsors last week. You guys are really killing it. You guys are killing it. Pound it, dude. That's awesome. So who makes Tamron?
Sorry, I'm still trying to look this up.
Just go Google. Does
Sorry, I'm still on
Canon make
Facebook.
Tamron?
Are you a
Try
good
that.
Googler?
No.
Dude, Lauren's the
How do you
funniest
spell it?
Googler. She searches like her train of thought. She's like, so if she's like looking up like how to microwave something or something, not that she would, but she'd be like, cooking time in microwave for this and that. Like it's just like the way
It's
she
just the
words it is the
longest-
funniest thing. Yeah.
Alyssa's an amazing Googler. for the most part.
I might be the best Googler. Just saying.
Okay, how would you Google
Careful how you word this.
You gotta give me something.
Okay, Google... Fuck, I can't even think of a topic. Something about space. Something about the time continuum. How do
about
I go
it?
back in time? How'd you Google it?
How can I go back in time?
Oh, man,
Wow, you
killed
are
it,
really
dude.
good.
Boom,
Holy shit.
roasted,
Yeah.
Steve.
Incredible.
Shouldn't have called him out.
Thanks, dude.
Okay,
You
fuck
gotta watch
the Tamron
yourself,
thing if
bro.
we're never going to
I
find
don't
it.
think they do.
I don't think they make anything.
So they don't make Sigma or Tamron.
Cameron doesn't
think
actually
so.
exist.
Cameron doesn't
Cameras don't actually exist. Just saying.
So there's also another update that no one's going to give a shit about this. But our 5D Mark IV, amazing camera, minus low light. Oh, you found it?
No,
Because you had
sorry.
a breath of relief.
I got
She
frustrated.
fucked up
Okay.
her Photoshop.
Oh, okay, no worries. Canon, the 5D Mark IV has its flaws, though, specifically like ISO and night shoots. But we don't shoot that much at night, and usually when we do, we rent an A7S II from John Ross. But it has no ability to shoot log, which has changed. You can now send in your camera and get it updated, and it's also built into the new ones, a new log shooting format. So that's great, and it changes the 4K shooting mode. Everybody,
Takes a
everybody
goddamn
loved this.
week though. We won't
Look
be
at me
able
like
to do
you love
it.
this.
I know I do, but we can't do it because it takes a
It
week.
changes the crop from 4096 2160 to whatever it should be, and it should make it easier to actually edit
It's
4K footage.
Is it 56 normally?
No, it's what it is now is 4096 by 2160, which is such a stupidly weird size
Doesn't
frame.
it go up to?
It just, I think, impacts it like the
Oh,
width.
really?
Yeah, because it turns it from 38 to 3840 by 2160, which is the normal.
Is that back to like a 16:9 aspect ratio? Like if you were to.
I think so.
Cool.
Right? Yeah.
Hell yeah. 4K and a 16:9.
Yeah, and it also makes it infinitely easier to edit because the C200 4K footage, it was a lot easier to edit than this bullshit that's on the 5D Mark IV.
Oh god, yeah. The editing
Unbelievably hard.
softwares just aren't able to comprehend. They're just like.
Because when I got this fucking camera, so that one right there, I was really excited to be able to do 4K vlogs all the time, but it's impossible. And especially
With the
Sony
space in the
Vegas.
first place, you need a giant fucking card to be able to shoot a decent amount of footage in 4K.
I wonder if I'll ever use Premiere.
You should, dude. I told you, like, my fucking Sony crashed and I lost a project that I didn't autosave, and it was like literally probably 30 hours straight of editing, and I was so pissed I just uninstalled Sony
The
and
only issue
installed.
I have is with 4K. You
Yeah,
have
but
to.
it's literally the
Would it be
workflow is
better
faster.
to-
The
Would it be
workflow
better
is
to,
faster, way
use
faster.
a CF card?
Yeah.
No, it's not
Really?
about the card. It's about Sony Vegas because you have to do this thing that creates a video proxy for 4K footage.
Right.
So you can actually you do a preview view of it, and that takes time to do that. And then suddenly, when you have too many of those, it crashes. But it crashes when you try to render it. When you
Well,
click
man,
the-
you just need to make the leap to just
Yeah.
uninstall Sony so you don't even have it.
Dude, if I
Get
did
Premiere.
that, I could transfer between Premiere and After Effects so easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in Premiere 2, it just auto creates proxies for, it doesn't even create a proxy. You can basically, it just takes the preview and it will automatically,
Yeah, you can
bring
automatically-
Oh, and I was watching a Riot Gear video, and they have a new update on After Effects or Premiere even. I'm not sure exactly which, but people in the same office can use the same project file on After Effects. I don't know if that's been around for a while or.
No, I think that's a new thing. That's like a beta thing.
That's
they're
so
trying
fucking
out.
cool.
Yeah.
That'd be so useful for projects like The
Yeah,
Woods
you,
or.
you already edit so fast that would just be like, we'd pump out like 10
Once you
vlogs a
learned how to
day.
use Premiere properly, holy shit, dude, you'd be the fastest editor of all time.
Well, and it would make our go-between a lot faster too.
Yeah,
'cause we
especially for
wouldn't
subtitle
have,
work.
Yeah,
and
make
all
my
that.
go-go
Let's do it.
boost
I'll
pop.
even teach you shortcuts and stuff. We can, if you have a question, you can be like, "How do I do this?" Yeah.
I've been offering to teach you for days.
But Autumn, you don't speak English fluently.
Oh yeah.
What I
you're
really
right.
want to learn how to do is Autumn was talking to me about color correction recently, and how it's not just as simple
Correction or
as
grading?
grading, and it's not just
Well,
as simple as.
Correction. So correction uses scopes more than grading, probably though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
Do you work with DaVinci at all?
Yeah, actually, that's what I used in my last
Yeah,
production
that's
company.
what you. Yeah,
Yeah.
DaVinci's fucking sick.
Yeah, because I
She's
want to learn
amazing,
how the technical side of it. Because right now it's just I look at it, and that's just not what you're supposed
Once
to.
you get a lumograph, you can literally see and then check what is it supposed to look
This
like.
is all fucking news to me. Like I had no idea about
Like
this
the
kind of shit.
lumographs and stuff.
Yeah.
I knew it, but I just could not give a shit. I was like, that's too much work. I'm
I've
just gonna
never
do
heard
it
of
what
a
I think
lumograph
looks cool.
until this very moment.
Really?
Right until you mentioned that.
Wow, a lumograph's
Absolutely.
cool. Like it shows you the light waves and what
It shows
they
you the exposure.
Well,
of what
exactly
exposure is.
Well,
of each RGB.
Yeah.
You can
It-
see what they're supposed to be.
Yeah, so it graphs pixels on left to right, and then so you have the lumographs, and then you have RGB parades, which graphs hue and saturation from left to right. So you can see color casts, and you can see where on a numerical value your blacks are laying and where your whites are laying.
And then
Is there
you
ever
can, and you can know where it's
is there ever a
supposed to
situation
be.
where you change those and it matches up statistically, but it just doesn't look right?
Yeah. I mean,
Really?
So that's where grading comes in. So it's like you color correct it so that numerically it's correct and like everything.
So it's like 2 layers. You have to do the initial like,
correcting
blacks
first,
and, all that,
and then you want to
and then
grade
you
after.
Yeah.
Huh.
It makes the grading so much easier.
Is the numerical more so to make sure that like 2 different shots are consistent in the same like grading?
It's important because you can't trust your eyes because
Especially
your eyes.
if your screen is not calibrated right.
Yeah, so your screen isn't
100%.
calibrated, and also your eyes
Your screen's different.
white balance themselves.
Oh,
so
when we
it's
did
like,
the RT podcast in Austin, something really sat with me about camera quality, and it was I knew it to be true, but I didn't think about what it was at the time, like that was the reason. It's dynamic range that makes a cinema camera cinema,
yeah.
and that's because you film with this. Also, some other bullshit with the 5D Mark IV. It turns out it has an HDR mode, which is crazy cool,
But
but it only shoots in 30 frames per second on MP4, and the worst part about it is
the frame blending.
the frame blending.
It's fucked. That's
It's
so stupid.
Fucked. It just like you shoot. Suddenly, there's like 2 of you.
Do you know how Sony Vegas used to do that with you'd have to actually like right click a clip
Disable
and
resample.
make disable. It literally is like that
Yeah.
always when you shoot in HDR. Like don't do that. Don't have that. Maybe they just don't have the technology. It's so expensive to create.
Oh,
that
they
it
do.
doesn't.
So then why
Absolutely
is it
they
even
do.
an
Why would-
option if it does it only fuck up or does it ever?
It's not a
come
fuck up. It's just like you know what a frame blend looks like,
Yeah.
right? So each frame is literally it's like there's a fucking fade between every
Yeah,
frame.
so it's like-
Do you know why Canon does this?
I have
and
no
I'll
idea.
relate it to cars. It's the same reason McLaren didn't want anybody to really compare the 720, their new like base model or their new like sports model
talked
to
about
the
this.
P1 because they're afraid that their P1 owners would be really pissed when they found out that the 720S is just as fast. And the same thing with Canon, their baseline DSLRs and
Yeah,
their
with
cinema
their
cameras. They
yeah,
don't
with
want
C-lines
people
and shit,
who
yeah.
bought those to be like,
They
oh,
literally
fuck.
add things that just make it worse.
Yeah, they make it worse on purpose.
God.
Yeah.
You could monopolize the market if you literally just made all the cameras perfect.
Yeah, and even like with even comparing like the 60 to the 5D, like there's like a couple differences besides like the autofocus and stuff, but the fucking 60 doesn't have a headphone port.
No.
And I'm like, why?
Why?
Why not? Why not?
what is it meant to shoot then?
No, you
Just
can shoot.
photos?
You just can't monitor audio if,
I know,
if you're
that's
recording
so
in the camera.
important,
It's
though.
so
Yeah,
annoying.
Yeah.
so dumb.
It's like you have to be shooting with an external audio recorder.
I mean, the majority of the time when you're shooting like a good production, you would use an external.
Yeah, but like for our vlogs and shit.
Exactly.
like that,
yeah.
like, we don't use
Well,
that
yeah,
barely. We
especially
just
like,
do Zoom and stuff.
and like, yeah, Canon. That's like Canon's market. It's not like huge professional productions.
Yeah,
it's
especially
like,
those cameras.
It's
Yeah,
literally
like-
4 people shooting it
Yeah.
on their camera, so there should be 100%.
Yeah, that's
Cool.
stupid.
And on that note, I'm going to restart the cameras. Freed mentioned that we have a what is it? A viewer mail that someone wants to ask a question about something. Is it an important question?
The following email is from Josh Smith. Josh Smith of New Jersey.
Thank you, Josh
Is
Smith.
that how you say it? New Jersey?
Joyzy.
Jersey.
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 Jerky.
Jerky.
Uh-huh.
Jerky.
Okay, read the goddamn question.
I live in New Jersey and I'm graduating high school soon. This email is directed to anyone in SP7 that could give me some insight. I would like to get into photography.
Dear God.
Photography.
Just read it. Fucking damn it.
We're just
and
on LSD.
filmmaking.
Photography and filmmaking. Got it.
Most likely through YouTube.
Question mark?
Cool. I'm going to read this.
Bye, Freed.
And I wanted to know what any of you guys think about the usefulness of college for me personally. I'm not sure if it's worth it for me to go to college or just jump right into it to try to put myself out there. Thank you, and I look forward to hearing from you. I'd say go to community college.
Can I
Or go to
say
college.
something?
College.
Sure.
Am I? Is
We'll all
is
give
my
our
mic on?
views.
Is my mic hot?
I think I turned it off, but I turned it back on.
I think that you should do both. I think that you should be in your own time, starting to build your own style and your own way that like you want to make videos and whatever topics you want to do,
Just
whatever
create.
kind of videos you want to do. I think you should be working on that on your own. The reason I say go to college, I went to film school, and I definitely would say not only like the education that you receive, you're going to learn a lot of things that it would take you more time to learn in the real world through experience, but also the networks that you make, like in connections and stuff. Like I had. Not every peer or every teacher is going to offer you something, but I have a few teachers that I really learned a lot from, and I still keep in contact to this day. And other like peers that were in classes with me. You're also going to be going to class with kids that are older, like significantly, that have worked in the field, and they're going back to college to get their degrees for whatever reason, and they're able to offer you that experiential kind of knowledge that you would have to get on your own or whatever. And I think there's so many pros of going to college that I think people are overlooked. And you think of people like Quentin Tarantino, he's one of the best filmmakers ever, and he dropped out of high school. It's like, yeah, well, that's like a 1 in a million, you know?
But that also leads to, and I was thinking about this earlier, what path would have set me where? And I think it comes down to, with just everybody out there, your ability to make a project and realize that it's not good enough. I think that's what it really is, because that kind of drive is what's going to separate you from other people.
Keeps you doing better and better every
Yeah.
single time.
Yeah.
Instead of
So
just
if you
being
have
like, I'm
that,
the best.
then I think you'll be fine whatever path you take. If you choose to work on your own passion project, or if you go to school, I think school is a safer route. Absolutely.
No, what I'm saying is do both
Yeah.
simultaneously.
I
You have a lot of time in your day. Do a lot of work.
Yeah, truly. I mean,
Do
and
everything
that's the
you
problem
can.
that everybody runs into, is like procrastinating, or like having a thing you want to work on, but like starting is the hardest part, especially if you're trying to write a story or something, like getting an outline out to know what the fuck you're going to write about. Like, it's hard to do. But you could be, the people also you're going to meet in college are people that have the same kind of dreams that you have. They're going to also be wanting to make passion projects, and they're also going to be in school with you. So it's like, if you find a good group of people, or even not, like some whatever, you could be working on these projects while you're learning how to make that project better. And it's like, yeah, I mean, everyone's always worried about their projects, whether or not they're going to turn out to be good and stuff like that. But that's literally what learning is making a bad project, knowing that that's not how you make it for the next one.
I agree. I would always recommend going to college, because it's only going to benefit you. Maybe it won't benefit certain people. Like, I didn't go to college, but again, I got extremely lucky. Like, I just did YouTube and did awful and did better, and then eventually like did good shit with my friends. But like, that doesn't happen to everyone. You could not go to college and then be screwed, and then you work at McDonald's for the rest of your life, which is fine too. But like,
yeah, I think,
what I mean?
Yeah, but I think
It's safe.
If
It's
people, because if you have drive and you have a passion, and like you're like tapping into that you have that, the chances of you not succeeding are lower. I think that, and I'm not trying
if
to
you really have it though,
yeah, no, definitely.
it's
And,
hard
like,
to
and,
know,
like,
I guess.
Yeah, no, it is hard, and
Because there are a lot of
but-
blowhards out there that think they're the most talented people in the
Oh
world.
yeah, well
Yeah.
they're
Fucking
just
suck,
fucked.
and they never end up anywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. But like, what the fuck was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought.
Think about it. I'll just say, go to college. You'll benefit from going to college. You'll meet people. You get motivation. You'll learn things that, like James said, would take you longer in just life than it would.
Oprah didn't make it until she was 40.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go to school.
Also,
school.
yeah, I think
Hell
a lot
yeah.
of the times, like especially in like our culture and like society, like seeing like younger people are more important and stuff like that. It's like, don't be afraid of wasting time, because you have a lot of time once you graduate from high school to like figure out what you want to do and how you want to do it. And I think a lot of the times that people want to jump right into something, or they take opportunities too quickly because they're afraid of like losing or wasting time. But like 4 years after you graduate from high school, you're gonna be 22. You still have the entire world like ahead of you.
Also, something incredibly important to think about with automated jobs becoming more and more frequent. Employers are going to look more onto people who have a lot of experience.
Yeah,
So
work
having that degree
experience
is gonna help.
is just as
Yeah.
valid as school experience.
Definitely, yeah.
As long
no.
as you're actually,
Which brings me back
doing
to my
it.
point of doing both. Like, get internships, get jobs, working with production companies or whatever field in the industry you want to do while you're going to school.
When I
That's
was at
what
school
the
and-
people that make it are doing. They're working like both things.
I was reading screenplays a lot when I had
Yeah.
free time, and I was trying to work on my craft and everything too. Editing, always.
Yeah.
It's just you sleep 8 hours a day at most, and the rest of the time just fucking go hard.
Yeah, just fully immerse yourself with that.
And another reason too is like not everyone gets like the connections that like we got by meeting each other outside of YouTube. When you're in college, like you're gonna meet people and you're gonna be able to just do cool shit with them. Like it's beneficial all around to go.
So I actually disagree, just because of my personal experiences with going to school. So I went to 2 different universities that I hated, and then I went to a trade school for like a year and a half, which I ended up liking the most, but I dropped out of that too. And I think that for this stuff specifically, and this is just, I guess, like me personally, like everyone's different. For this stuff specifically, I don't think you need to go to school. I think you can spend the money that you would have to spend on school on learning it yourself, because all that information is available online.
That's true.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess it's different for everybody, because also like where I lived, you could like I made a lot of connections just by involving myself in like the local film community and stuff, and that's how I got my first job editing.
If you have
which
parents
is why I
that
dropped out,
are willing to pay for your school, though, I'd say take.
I
a
did
look at
not.
that.
Yeah,
so
no, I didn't
that's
either.
where I
I
dropped
have a
out,
lot
and
of,
now I have so many loans.
Me too.
And it was
I
not
have
worth
so
it
much-
at all.
And I definitely agree with your point of like there's so much like resources out there to learn things yourself. I just think it comes down to like not everybody has that. It goes back to the drive thing. Like if you're going to sit down and teach yourself something, that's harder than being taught something sometimes.
Unless you love it and like you're
No,
passionate
truly.
about it,
Yeah,
but that's
yeah.
super
No,
rare.
absolutely.
And like we said before, you
Yeah.
could think that like, oh, I have enough passion to go and kick this world's ass. I'm amazing, and then you won't at all. But if you had that, I always think as a last resort too, if you have that degree, it's also a backup. So you can be pursuing your dreams, and if you're ever scared that it's not working out, well, you can fall back on your degree, and that's such a nice. Like, I wish I had that. Like, if things crumbled, I could just go to because now I'd have to go to school if it didn't work out for me.
I don't really know what I would fall back on,
Well,
even if I had a film degree, because I have a film degree.
Yeah,
I
film-
don't know
no,
what
definitely
I would
with film.
fall back
I don't
on
think
with
you'd have
that.
to because you have experience now. You
That's
know?
true.
Yeah. And that's the
do
biggest
I.
thing is like a lot of film schools too don't actually give you any hands-on experience, and that's what's a lot like most important. So like a lot of universities will offer film programs that are just like writing about film and stuff, which like it depends on what you want to do, whether or not that's important. So like if you are going to go to school for film, go to one that's going to give you a lot of hands-on stuff, because once you get out into the real world, people want to know what you can do. They don't care what movies
many-
you've seen and like how you can
what
talk
your
about
opinion
film.
is on.
Yeah, it definitely
Yeah.
depends on what school you go to. Like, luckily,
Yeah.
I went to San Francisco State, and they had a lot of like hands-on production classes, and it was a cool thing because you were allowed to like build your own major within the cinema program, and like, you know, there's 100 classes, right? And you can like, oh, if you take these 10 in a row throughout the years, like that's grooming you more towards like this specific field. And you're getting a lot of like production classes that are like 15 people tops. So it's a lot of hands-on, a lot of one-on-ones with the instructor and like stuff like that. And it's a state school. Like, I don't know what was this guy's name? John? I don't know if he's planning on going to like a New Jersey state school. I don't know that program at all, but I know that like there's got to be a school in the area or that he could go to or afford that would be like more catered towards film specifically and shit. I'm like, go to New York, dude. Go to NYU.
You can take singular classes too, see if you like it.
Go to NYU.
And on that note,
The
we
hardest
actually
schools to get into.
it's time to get
I
into
got
our
into
second
NYU.
sponsor.
So good luck, John.
No big
Oh
deal.
Lord, it's Christmas.
And our second sponsor is Quip.
You know what I really hate doing, guys?
Breathing.
what do you hate?
Brushing my teeth. I don't know what it is. My whole life I've never brushed my teeth once.
Feels like a chore, right?
It did, and now, but you know, you get into a routine of brushing just normally, and it becomes normal.
And
But
you recognize that brushing your teeth also helps your heart.
I don't
Truly.
think so.
Still not sure about that.
So here's something to chew on. You know, many recent studies suggest that having good oral health impacts your overall health, as you were just saying. You know, a lot of studies support that. But a lot of us today don't even brush our teeth properly. But you could start better today. How do you properly brush your teeth? You know,
Up and
'cause
down, actually. Did you know?
I heard you're not supposed to brush them too hard.
True. It's
you
softer
could fuck
brushes.
your,
You gotta
could
go
mess
into
up
the
your
gums.
You get
Fuck, I
receding
said
gums.
fuck.
I think I have a bit of receding gum line because I brush super hard. I recently got a softer toothbrush from
From Quip.
Quip.
Oh, because your gums are very malleable.
Yes,
So-
they are.
Teeth just fall out.
all the time. I can pull one out right now.
Quip is an electronic toothbrush that packs premium vibration and timer features into an ultra slim design. It's half the cost of bulkier brushes. So you go to the store and there's an aisle of different toothbrushes and they all look almost the same, and there's a few that are mechanized and whatnot. And
Mechanized.
It's a half between mechanized and recognized. And you're like, which one's going to be better for me? And so that brings us to Quip. Quip is basically like Apple designed a toothbrush, but without the big price tag. You have to see it and brush with it yourself. You can even subscribe to receive new brush heads on a dentist recommended 3-month plan for just $5, including free shipping. So that's $5 for a 3-month plan. You're getting regular toothbrushes, new ones, so you're not using the same old dirty one. Quip is backed by leading dentists and was named one of Time Magazine's best inventions of 2016. And they won a 2016 GQ Grooming Award. And made it on Oprah's 2017 New Year's O list.
Oprah!
And Oprah knows what's up. The coolest thing about Quip is that it starts at just $25. So right now, you can go to getquip.com/pine to get your first refill pack free with a Quip electric toothbrush.
Get it, baby.
Brush your damn teeth.
That's your first refill pack completely free at getquip.com/pine. That's GETQUIP.com/pine. Thank you guys. Thank you, Quip. You guys are saving us, and you're awesome.
Bless your hearts,
Brush
Quip.
your teeth, think of us.
So we just came back from Austin at RT, Rooster Teeth for the layman.
Really?
It's a fun time. What do you mean, really? You were there?
I was there. Can I
That
get
was
a taste?
Yeah, that was an interesting trip. It was a lot different than our other ones because normally we wake up at like 10 or 11. But this one was just purely 6 a.m. Wake
So
up.
fun. I
shooting.
loved shooting what we shot. What we shot was fun.
That was only the second director I've ever worked with on anything. So it was interesting to see the differences between Drew and John Redlinger.
And
that was
also
his first
Blaine.
time directing that, by the way.
And it
Drew?
also
Yeah.
it
No,
made me
wasn't.
think like
Yeah, it was.
No, Drew told me that he directed like 5 different episodes, but he switches off with Blaine.
yeah.
I could have swore he told me this was the first time maybe he got to write it because he was telling me about how excited he was that.
I think he was
like-
really excited to work with us, and he was telling me like our episode. We're talking about $1 Million Butt, by the way. That our episode was very unique compared to others because the scenarios that we set up were very absurd. Not to go into any detail.
And also our back and forth on the table was definitely probably very hectic.
Yeah.
So that was going to be difficult to edit.
Yeah,
They all
no,
liked it though. They said it was fun.
Yeah, everyone said it was like really funny, but some of the, as I'm sure some of you guys have seen $1 Million, but they'll cut to reenactments and have voiceovers and dubbing over of what the people are saying, and it was really funny because our back and forth is so quick, and like so having actors that don't know our style try to do that, it was really fun to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, we had to shoot a funeral scene, and it was just the most. I can't. Like, I hope
shot
it comes
a funeral
out soon.
scene?
Yeah, we shot a funeral scene.
Oh my god, was it funny?
It was funny. Yeah.
Dude, the funniest thing was your claw.
I don't know. I bet they won't even put that in.
They have to. That was the funniest thing I've
hope
seen.
so. Claw the tree.
It was so good, dude.
Yeah, Austin was it was a nightmare for work, but it was definitely worth it.
True.
We shot Always Open with Barbara. I think that comes out today. Well,
Really?
it comes out like
It just came
Rooster
out.
Teeth
it just came out.
podcast?
Yeah, that means I can post a picture of all of us.
Hell
That's really
yeah,
awesome.
I want to post it too.
So by now you already know that for some reason their plan for Halloween when we were supposed to be on their podcast then was to dress up like us for Halloween.
So funny how I just instantly knew.
Yeah, what was that call like?
No, it wasn't a call. I was out with her and I'm so sorry, I forget the other girl's name.
Mariel?
Mariel, yes. I was out with those two having like tacos or some shit. And they were like, so we want to have you guys on the podcast at Halloween. We were thinking of doing this costume idea. I was like, oh, you going to do us? They're like, how did you know that?
See, that's what like I remember talking about this, and I was like, wow, Kib, you really caught on to that quick.
And I was like, oh, Barbie is going to be Steve and Mariel will be me.
but
And I was right.
I was like, how can Kib catch on to that when him telling me the story?
had
I
no idea.
wouldn't even think about it, and that's purely because if someone told me something about Halloween and costumes, I would just immediately turn off because I don't give a shit.
But in that conversation when you're with them, you wouldn't have because they're telling you something. And then
I think I still would have. I would have just probably been like, awesome.
Really?
Yeah, like I just
that's
would've-
probably what they expected. But with my mind, I was like, I got to know what you're
Yeah.
doing.
So that's interesting that you have a very inquisitive brain like that, and you care a lot about things, just in general.
You're supposed to. You enjoy life more
supposed
when
to,
you
absolutely, I
try to
agree.
care more.
I should try to care more.
Just try. It's fun.
A more fun part of Austin.
I can't believe people think we're mad at each other.
No, that was just me honestly expressing an annoyance.
Yeah,
But
and I mean,
that doesn't mean I was mad at you or
I'm
just
sure
like
I overstepped with like the street signs thing and just being
you.
like,
It was just dragged out too
frustrated
long.
at all.
But I'm in such a good mood today.
I think
it's
there's
fine.
a certain bit of impatience in the office too sometimes.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, we're all stressed, and like that's what happens when you're stressed. You become more irritable.
Yeah, I definitely take it out on Lauren.
Yeah.
Me too.
I just text Lauren.
I just call her up. You.
One of the best parts of going to Austin though was actually the plane ride back because we had an unaccounted for passenger with us.
Dude.
Farty Barbie.
Yep,
So
Farty
fucking- I got on the plane first, and fucking Kib comes down the aisle, and he sits next to me, and also just starts smelling like
I literally went,
fucking.
what is that smell?
Oh my god! I know exactly what you're talking about now. Fuck you, dude. Okay, Kib. For some reason, Sammy Joe's like, I want Austin a barbecue. Didn't get Austin barbecue while he was there. In the airport, got barbecue ribs.
Airport barbecue.
No, it's
like-
still Texas barbecue
And
ribs,
he's
boys.
like, she'll love it just the same.
She will.
We looked at
She
it,
did.
and no, I even tasted a little bit. I'm like, this is barbecue from
You
anywhere.
did not taste it.
Yeah, you gave me a bunch of it. You gave me a bunch of yours.
Oh my
yeah.
god.
And
Yeah, it
it's-
was like 60% of what Texas barbecue was, but it's still that's better than anything here.
So we're in the line waiting for to get on the plane, and I'm like, oh, fuck, what's BO? What fucking god awful
Excuse
smell.
I was
me.
like 7 rows behind you guys and I smelled it. I thought the kid next to me kept farting. He did, but it was also the barbecue.
And you open it. You open it in the line,
I
and they're
waft
like
it.
wafting it, and there are people around us. I'm like, I'm like trying to close it, and they're like, don't drop it, dude.
No, I was trying to waffle fart in your face. The barbecue fart.
The fucking the lady who was sitting in the row
When
with
I
us
sat
was
down,
so mad.
literally, okay. So when I sat down, I was like, oh, what is that smell? And I put this down, and she was like, fuck.
She actually said that?
We had no conversation with her. That was the only thing we heard her say.
She was
She's
so
on the window seat. I'm on the aisle seat. She's just like, fuck. And I was like, oh, yeah.
You're like going along with it? I know.
Did you have it open?
No, it was so smelly, even in the case. Dude, I was
fucking
gagging. It was
gross.
by my feet, and I was just like,
And then when we landed, he picked it up, and it was just like it wafted out everywhere.
I could smell it 3 rows in front of you guys.
It was fucked, dude. That was
The
absolutely.
whole plane flight, I forgot about it, and I was like, "Oh, did a baby throw up?"
I literally had dead animals in a bag
Holy
underneath my
shit.
seat.
You're smacking
So
around.
funny.
Oh, and like as I was walking up, literally even to give it to Sammy Joe, knocked on her door. I like held it away because like
Yeah,
I
wanted
hadn't
to
seen her
not
for a
answer.
week. So when I opened the door, she's like, "This smells like ass. Here you go."
That's even worse because like if you're holding it behind you, she doesn't know that it's the barbecue. She's like, "Oh, you shit your pants."
But when we heated it up and ate it, it tasted great. She was like, so good. She's like,
ass meat.
I just took a shit in it.
Doing it.
That was farty barbecue times 10.
Oh god, it's the little things, really.
It really is the little things that make
so
Steve
gross.
roast.
Kib, you just do fucked up shit.
All the
Like
time.
the video that just came out with Kib doing the old man
Oh
walk.
my god, that's so great.
Dude,
I didn't realize people were gonna find that as funny as they did.
It was great. I love how it
fucking
just cuts to a super
dying,
wide
dude.
of him just.
Like, and I progressively, like, first I just did it normally, I was like, and then I got a little lower, and then
I could not stop
Yeah, we did
fucking
5
laughing.
takes, each one harder than the last to not laugh
lower
at
and
because
lower
like,
and lower.
It's you start off, and then I just heard behind me, and Autumn's like laughing so hard.
Oh yeah, she had to not look for the second take, and still laughing while not looking.
And then
Just
I
the
started
idea of
laughing,
it.
and then Kid would start laughing, and we had to shoot that 5 times. And then by the end of it, you'd get slowly lower and lower and lower, and then suddenly you're just hobbled over completely. And then the walk back I had to cut short. You started walking in so slow, and the dog,
dog was
started
just
following you.
He was like so slowly following you,
Like he was my service dog.
but walking behind you.
He's just like, come on.
I will say though, it was
dude.
really cool to watch that being filmed from the outside. Like I don't really experience that with the vlogs that we do so like that much.
What do you mean from the outside?
Like I was across the backyard watching
just
you guys
watching it
film it. It
happen.
was just cool, like watching that being filmed.
It's fun.
Yeah.
I love watching that shit. Good times.
I have some good news, guys.
No way.
Really good news.
A third sponsor?
You're almost done with Bloodborne?
I'm almost done with blood.
Is that really what the
Yep.
news was? Oh god.
I'm not ready for you to be done. I'm having anxiety about it.
It's.
I'm gonna miss you being on the table in the morning
Yeah.
when I come in.
I'll find
playing
a new
Bloodborne.
game.
I will never miss that.
It's so
I'm
fun
gonna
and cozy.
be interested to see what he thinks about Battlefront 2 because you finally started playing that.
But
Yeah.
apparently, like, you love Star Wars so much anyways
Star
that, like, you love it. No matter what, you're going to love Battlefront 2. But a lot of the reviews had said that it wasn't as good. Like, they shit it out.
So the thing is
bit.
the first Battlefront, there were a lot of mistakes that were made in the first launch of it, but a lot of them had been fixed and like more stuff was released and blah blah blah. Like there's still issues with it as far as like the whole like season pass and the DLCs and stuff like that with the first Battlefront. But if you look at like, you always have to look at a game like what it's following up. It was following up like what 10 or so years earlier. The old Star Wars Battlefront 2
Which
on
is
like
just
PS2,
fucking
which is
flawless.
amazing. It has an amazing campaign where you follow the 501st Legion, like going from clone troopers to Order 66 to becoming stormtroopers, which is an unbelievable storyline to follow. And then you have great multiplayer and instant action and stuff. It's just great, like all around. So trying to follow up an amazing game is always going to let people down. But the first Battlefront, I never didn't like it. I always thought it was fun. Like I played many hours of it. So when the beta came out, and shout out to Autumn for getting it for me for my birthday.
Thank
The
you.
scooter.
Not a scooter, you're disappointed.
Not a scooter though.
Still not a scooter.
The beta of Battlefront 2, I was kind of like,
You know what people want to hear though is probably your opinion on the EA fiasco. Have you heard about that, Kib?
Maybe, maybe not.
Well, let me break it down. Really poorly because I only know one aspect of it. It's that they charge $90-something to be able to unlock Darth Vader.
Well, and okay, so basically,
$90.
the thing is like it would take
was it for the deluxe version or something?
it would take a ridiculously long time to.
You know what's funny? I already unlocked Darth Vader in my game.
Really?
No, because they fixed it with like a patch or something or like an update.
Did they
Like,
remove the $90 charge
Yeah,
for
well,
that
So wait,
too?
Autumn,
Then?
do you know the whole scenario? What happened?
Yeah, I would like to
Yeah,
hear what
yeah.
it was.
Please break it down.
Okay, so basically, like all of their like the stuff that you would like pay to get in that game, like the different, I don't know anything about that game, the different like weapons or whatever the fuck
Yeah,
they had
yeah.
under like paywall. The amount of time it would take for you to unlock that just by gameplay was like insanity. Like there's no fucking way. So it's basically if you were willing to spend money to get to the stuff behind the paywall, then you would like have a distinct advantage in the game.
Oh, God.
Here's the
So,
thing, if you're
yeah.
pre-ordering
Pay to
games,
win.
you are doing the
Yeah,
gaming
exactly.
industry a disservice, I believe. I think it's
Say that again,
it's
sorry, I missed that.
incredibly stupid to pre-order a game.
don't-
It's not stupid in the sense that people are just ignorant to the fact that
Yeah.
pre-ordering a game makes the gaming industry worse because it gives people money before they deserve it.
Exactly. I agree. I think it's fun though. Now I don't give a shit, but when I was like 14, 15, pre-ordering a game and going and waiting in line, like that whole
It
experience
was a different age.
was so worth
Even
it.
if you pre-ordered a
Gaming
game
was
back then,
different, though.
And the games were always good
Yeah,
for some reason
exactly.
back then. They always held up.
because the gaming industry,
you know?
I don't think they really knew that they could capitalize on that shit
Yeah.
yet, at least fully.
I miss that. Like that was
Yeah.
so fun.
Yeah.
Well, that
I did
came
an
about with
interview
like
once at them.
oh, the pay to play stuff came about with like mobile gaming. I thought because
Yeah.
like
Did
that I think so.
Like in-game purchases and shit like that.
Yeah.
The cool thing is though,
microtransactions and stuff.
that's fucked that EA did that when they first launched Battlefront 2, but they fixed it because
Because
I
people
already
were
had to.
like,
yeah, no, they had to. 'Cause
people were
were
so
like
fucking
killing
mad.
themselves.
I kind of wish EA didn't create Battlefront. I wish that like a better company.
Oh well, yeah. Well,
Made it.
they distributed it. DICE made it. That's why like the gameplay is really cool. I like the gameplay. It's very well because they did Battlefield.
I don't think I've
also.
heard
I
of
talked
DICE.
To, DICE did Battlefield.
Okay, so it's the same.
I was talking
it was
to
the
Bruce
same people.
actually about this. Yeah, same people did Battlefield.
I'd be
So it's like
interested
good
to
gameplay, good first person like gameplay. It's very like it's a lot more realistic, even though it's like Star Wars, more realistic than the first Battlefront. But I unlocked Darth Vader last night actually. Only 15,000 credits. I played like 10 multiplayer games and then like had enough credits to get him.
I've actually never been a huge fan of DICE FPSs. Minus
What else do they have?
what's the one where you can like destroy everything when you're blowing it up? It was a long time ago. It was a shooter.
Destroy all humans. Quake.
It was like a battle. It wasn't a Battlefield game exactly. Fuck it. People will know what it is in the comments. That's like the last DICE game I've ever been a fan of. But the way the gun moves around and how like sloppy it is. I mean, I know it's like that on purpose, but it's just
Yeah.
that style of FPS I just can't
It's,
get into.
it's definitely different than like because I also been playing COD World War II, which also people have issues with. I think it's fun because it reminds me of Modern Warfare 2, which was like the best.
That was
COD
my
game.
favorite one of all time.
It has-
People have been
it def-
loving that game. Like OG COD fans have been liking this game.
Yeah,
That's what I've heard.
That's the first one that I like religiously played. That's
Yeah,
the first
me
and
too.
last
World
one I
War II?
religiously. No, Modern Warfare 2.
Well, actually, Black Ops 2, man, if you had gotten into that one was also like an addiction for me. Like Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops 2 were
Man,
great games.
I did not like Modern Warfare 2.
Really?
Yeah, I was not a huge fan of it. I
Are
liked
you a
Love the
sniper though? Do you
multiplayer.
well, even without being a sniper.
Not a sniper, no. I liked Call of Duty 4. It's a classic, and then I liked World War. I loved it so much. And then the next one, Modern Warfare 2 came out. I was like, it's just something about it's not fun. And then I played Black
That's
Ops.
the
and it
most
was-
popular one of all time.
Yeah,
I
I
believe.
love Modern Warfare 2. That's why I like World War 2 because
Yeah.
it has that same feel of like I don't even know the difference because I don't play all the COD games, but it felt just like it, and even the little like area that you're before you're going into multiplayer games, like you go around and you're in like a base camp and shit. And you
I
go
love
and
that
do
too.
shit. It's
That was
pretty cool.
so fun in
You know,
Modern Warfare
shout out
2.
to Modern Warfare 2, though. I haven't seen a game take a risk for a campaign sequence like they did for the
The
that-
opening. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Jesus
Holy
Christ.
shit.
It's
The
fucked.
airport
I-
shootout?
They would
That's
never. That
so
would not be
fun.
allowed today.
Oh, no.
Like 100%.
I'm surprised that it's still allowed now
Yeah.
today. Well, let's cut to a mid-roll. Oh, I want to give a quick shout-out because early in the podcast I talked about the issue with moving the car because it's a lease and I have to do all that shit with it before I actually figure out what I'm going to do with it. So in the meantime, I was trying to find a place on Twitter, that's how desperate I was for this, to move my car because my worry is like that it's going to scrape up a driveway or that I can't put it in a junkyard because they're just going to want to sell the parts and that's also ridiculously expensive. It'd be like $60 a day,
God.
probably. Sky Williams, who has only been like the nicest person to me ever. He promoted our Streamies campaign. He's just says a bunch of kind words to me all the time, and he's just very nice and he's a very sweet man.
He'll love me one day too.
He told me that I could park or tow the car into his driveway because he has a big ass driveway.
Are you gonna pay him?
He says I don't need to, but I'm
Wow,
gonna
that's nice.
repay him somehow. I
Yeah.
need to figure out how.
With money, perhaps.
Oh yeah, actually money will work. Yeah, just to a lesser extent than what a tow yard.
Yeah.
But,
Friend prices, homie prices.
Yeah, he showed me his driveway because I was a little worried that if they plopped it down there, it would scrape it up. But there's like a spot that has a bunch of cracks in it, so it's like, oh, that's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just need to take a picture of those cracks first. So
How long do you need there?
landlord
Only
won't-
like a week, right? 2 weeks? Or a
Oh
long time?
no, it's a long time.
Like 18
Oh
months.
wow, I guess yeah,
18
because you're
months.
moving. Holy shit.
No, yeah, it's like a very extended thing.
Dude, I'm moving in with you.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Cool.
How do we not even talk about
I
that?
don't know.
What the fuck?
I just got more excited than ever now about that.
Kim and I lived together. Must have been 2 years ago, right? Or maybe a year and a half
probably-
ago.
No, over 2 years now.
Over 2 years?
2.5.
Yeah, because it was right when we moved to LA.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we are living together again. Which
Cool.
is so fucking crazy.
For a few months.
Yeah,
it's
with
gonna be
your
fun.
fiance.
Yeah, she's fine with it because we need money. And also, Kim and I are pretty respectful roommates. Plus, you're
Yeah.
gonna get Sammy Jones a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have to figure
And I'm
out
only
your
there for a
car
like,
parking
few
situation
months.
so they don't tow you.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Oh, yeah. Are they gonna? Is there a spot for me?
There should be a spot. Yeah.
3 spots? Well, I guess you don't. 2. I guess you have 2 because
I mean, it's gonna be the same situation with what you're doing right now. So,
like a car parking lot.
no, like well, I shouldn't say on camera, but you're not supposed to be there.
Oh yeah. Well, they don't really give a shit. I mean, they
don't.
might hear, but they do, but they don't.
This place is so bad and it has such bad reviews. They need any business that they can get, and it's like
It's so funny that place has bad reviews. It's very close to like where my home was in West Hills.
yeah, they have a meth lab blew up there.
Wow, unreal.
They have a
That's instantly the worst thing that can happen at a place.
A meth lab that blew up. Not even a successful
Did
one.
you know that in college, in the dorm rooms, on the second floor in the dorms that I lived at, because I live in San Francisco, so people gave a shit about like homeless people and whatnot. I'm kidding. I care about homeless people.
LA
So-
doesn't though, is what you meant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there were some like questionable kids who went to school there who would like allow the homeless youth that like hung out with them to come and stay in the
homeless
dorms with
youth.
them.
Well, they're probably
Yeah.
friends too.
Yeah, but it's also like with the dorms, like there's
can't
an
have
entire
people, yeah.
community in a dorm that you have to worry about.
Oh yeah.
That you like can't just make decisions like that to have somebody come and stay and live in your room.
Dude, I got in shit for staying at my brother's
But
for a
check
month.
this out, dude. They literally, and there's actually a video of this on YouTube somewhere. They were like making meth or crack or something in one of the dorm rooms, and like with the homeless people that were like doing it and shit.
That was the reward for being able to stay. Oh,
And so they made it,
meth.
and then the fucking cops like instantly found out because you have a neighbor on the other side of this wall.
smelling chemicals.
It's just like, what the fuck? And like, yeah, people keep it to themselves and shit, but like, they're like, what the fuck? And so the UPD came there and like cracked down on it.
Cracked.
And straight up cracked down on the crack. Get it?
Down on it.
And they fucking like try to arrest the people who were doing it. And there were like 3 people I think got arrested. And like, there's a video of it with the fucking girl filming it. And she's like, oh my God, don't hurt him, don't hurt him. He's not resisting. The cop's like, stop resisting. She's like, he's not resisting. He's resisting more than anyone is able to resist. He's fucking swinging at cops, running around.
Is
She's
the
like,
gun out?
he's not resisting. They fucking tase him and shit. I'm watching it like,
I wish it was the same guy from that Cops episode that we watched.
oh my God.
Oh my god.
Dude, that guy's my favorite. Holy shit. That guy, that
When he
had to,
walked out of the fucking thing, he's just like,
yeah, like the fucking door, he saw it open, he's just, dude, that's that had to have been like a viral Cops episode. Like it had to have been. But that was fun to
Genius.
hear in my dorm building.
yeah.
right above
Like I
me.
said, I got shit from staying at my brother's college because I was only going to stay for like a week, and you're supposed to sign someone in, and they
Yeah.
can only stay for about a week. And his roommates didn't really care, and then one of them did care, and we had a big confrontation with them. And it was like because my brother was staying at
Sorry, Alfredo's like coming up.
Stop poking your eyes through
during
there,
this story. True. Yeah. No, that's fine. Come on in, Alfredo.
Okay, I guess he's.
True.
Hi. Sorry, I hear.
Bring him in.
I hear drugs. I hear drugs, and I want to make sure that you don't dare me. Don't dare me now.
I dare you to do drugs, Alfredo.
Okay.
Do the
On
meth
it.
we've been cooking up under the table.
What do you
We're
want
just
from
scratching.
me? You guys called me, and what do you want from me?
Nobody called you in. Exactly.
You were yelling for me. I came to resist.
You were waiting so eagerly.
You sound like you have an accent now.
I've spent miles in Italy. So many pizzas.
Yeah, you've been out of the picture for a little while. How's your Thanksgiving planning going or Christmas planning?
The what?
Christmas, Thanksgiving,
Thanksgiving
vacation.
and Christmas.
What is that?
Thanksgiving is a time to remember the
Pilgrims.
Native
The
Americans. that we killed.
pilgrimage of the ancient ones.
Pilgriming. The
Of course. How
pillaging.
could I forget? You know, I think about this from time to time, and more times than not, I must admit it makes me hard.
Thinking about Thanksgiving?
The ancient ones.
Do you have a lot of food plans cooked up?
Oh, is Thanksgiving the one where you sacrifice the bird for your family?
No.
Yes.
Oh yeah, actually, yeah, wow,
Absolutely.
incredible.
Totally it is.
Less of a sacrifice, more of a slaughtering.
Do you have any questions for his Thanksgiving?
TikTok.
You know, Alfredo. I was curious, how do you ask a girl out? And that's not from me, actually. That's from Xander.
Any girl.
Any girl, like a girl you're sexually interested in, Xander wants to know how you ask her out. He doesn't know. Nor do I.
You got to go through the alphabet first.
Right.
A. Osobuco.
Okay.
And then once you're done with that, let me continue,
Oh.
stupid fucking idiot.
So sorry.
B. You watch Cradle to the Grave until you're broken with silence.
I just don't see the like the
I'm getting
bridge,
to it,
the bridge here.
okay?
Okay.
C.
This is gonna be a long one, man.
You see the girl. D.
Let's skip to
you
Z.
see the girl.
Can we skip to Z?
Dude, that's eating a girl out. That's not asking a girl out.
Oh, yeah, that is eating a girl
Oh, the
out.
question's asking eating a girl out?
No.
With your cock?
The question was how to
asking her on a date, like
asking her on a date.
courting her.
How?
On a date.
What
How
not?
to ask a girl on a date from Alfredo.
Say you got a girl in your apartment.
Yes, my apartment.
You've got her traded for another. And you're wishing
The
for
girl
her
or the apartment?
Say you're wishing for whatever. And you saw her right in front of you. She's seated.
Uh-huh.
Pleasantly.
Oh God, just spit.
And you think to yourself, Midas touch.
Yeah, none of that has answered. You skip to how
Scat.
she's.
And then you get into scat.
Dude, stop interrupting me, man. Jesus.
Alfredo, you
Okay,
did nothing
next-
productive there.
That's
Next
a bug
question, Autumn.
question.
Good God.
Okay.
Sorry, Xander.
This is a question from Thomas S. He asks, out of all the species
Thomas
of
shit.
ants, out of all the species of ants, which is the most delicious?
Oh, antelope.
Right?
Just meant
Like
ants.
immediately
Like the little tiny,
misunderstood.
the tiny bug.
The insects.
The insects, yes.
Incest sex.
Well, I
Do
disagree.
do ants do incest?
Absolutely, they do.
One queen.
I make sure of it.
One queen. All of them gay.
I mean, I think that's
Every
true,
colony.
actually.
No, because they did the drones and they're flying in the sky and you see a perpetrator on the ground. You say, and you shoot it to the gun, and he's dead now.
So how do you? What do they?
Oh, the
taste?
ants, right? Fuck me. I'm sorry. I'm so high right now.
On what?
The meth
Pescaline?
and the meth. Remember that under the
You mean
table.
penicillin?
No, menstruation.
He's menstruating, dude.
So with ants, there are many different styles of ants to prepare them. I like Cajun style because when you get the ant, you get 40,000 in front of you made into small kernels such as popcorn, and you get a handful of them. And when you, especially, it's good to eat with friends.
Yeah.
God.
No, I would eat ants. If you fried up ants and put like a chipotle powder on it, I'd eat the shit out of that. I've eaten a live minnow, so I honestly don't think that was too out of the ordinary.
You're so disgusting.
All right. Says the one with his dick out.
All right, very good. Okay, so next question from Control T. Nope, I don't know. It says, I need life advice. That's all it says.
Control.
Oh! Life advice.
Where'd you get that cup?
Just any life advice?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess you got to start off with going into waking. Once you've gotten that down,
All right.
then when you answer
Okay.
to nobody, that's a smart one.
Waking up, you have to answer to nobody once you
You
figure
wake
it out.
up, say you answer to somebody.
Right.
You've already lost. But if you wake up and there's no answer to you, then who can? Right? So think about it like you're walking a ball.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you're walking
I'm walking a
like you're
ball.
walking with the balls in your hand. The balls in your court.
My balls are in my court.
So basically, what you're saying is like you wake up and you're your own person. You worry about what you're doing, kind of thing, right?
Yeah, make sure you don't leave your keys up on the table.
All right. Back to different things.
No, it's actually like not bad advice. Okay, last one.
Just don't rape.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
That's true. That's
Sorry,
very
Harvey.
True. Yeah.
Harvey.
This question is from.
Dent.
No.
This question.
Rapist.
Oh, okay. This,
Close.
Oh my fucking god.
Weinstein. It's so hard to break a carrot in half. Oh my god, try to break that in half. Good god. Okay, I found it again. It made its way back to
That
me.
carrot has an O ring.
This carrot has literally a shitty asshole.
Dutch question. Dutch question.
With you.
Dutch question.
Okay.
It's hard,
Dutch
right?
question now.
All right, it says, this is from Lauren. I just started my freshman year of college and haven't made any friends yet. How can I show people that I'm actually really cool to hang out with?
Flash them.
Yeah, I agree.
Man
That's
or woman.
good advice.
Man or woman.
Yeah.
Flash them once. If they run, flash them once. If they run,
But what if their backs are turned to you and you're flashing them? They
call
can't
their
see.
names. Most of the time, their names start with a Q, such as Quincy or
Quentin. Mike.
Bem, bem,
Oh, his
He has
alarm's
to go
going
back.
off.
Yeah.
bem, bem, bem. Excuse me,
Alfredo.
I touched my phone.
Okay. You're just hitting your hand.
It's in my hand like a inspector. Catch me if you can.
Expect your ketchup.
Yeah, haha, you're so funny. I was joking.
Yes.
Couldn't tell if that was
So,
serious.
so to
What
make
part?
friends, you have to open yourself up to crime.
Crime. Okay.
You
In
don't be afraid
college,
for
yeah.
crime.
Yeah.
You commit crimes with new friends, old friends, professors, even if you will. And you take what you do is you go into class with your arms wide open, all 4 of them. And if nobody wants to be your friend, you start scratching every wall until the paint is flying.
Do you eat paint chips?
Never.
Weird.
That's like
Weird that he does or doesn't.
Doesn't. Weird
Okay.
that he doesn't.
Well, we don't need to
You're
get
so weird, Chib.
Not my name. Won't reply to that.
You just
did.
did.
Not my name. I said ambiguously.
Cool. I think that's all the time for questions we have from Alfredo. Thank you so much for joining us, dude.
No, I want to talk about any game with you, any movies.
Okay.
All right,
what do you think
Alfredo.
about EA real quick?
Without Alfredo.
Eat.
All right.
Cool. Not E24. Okay. Thank you so much. Alfredo, can you be gone now?
Oh, time to reach on toy.
He's flying.
Jesus, dude.
Holy shit.
What's wrong?
And
with him?
that's fucking yikes.
He was dripping today.
Yeah. What was that red shit?
I think he was literally just covered in jelly.
Yeah,
Oh my
it did
God.
look like jelly.
We didn't talk about Autumn and Bruce this entire podcast.
Autumn and Bruce are
Do you think
dating.
we would get away with, or that you get away with it?
Kind of, yeah.
Rim jobs for the boys in blue.
Too bad we have a whole sheet of paper that says what we're supposed to talk about on this one.
Is there tape under here?
Is there gum over there?
You know, just like
Yeah.
all the comments we talked about before, like a lot of speculation. I think a lot of people are speculating about you and certain another person. Don't you dare! This is if I take this off, then I'm cheating.
Yuck, boy.
And thank you. I've just ruined my whole marriage. Autumn, stare at me for 2 seconds. So it's really happening.
yeah.
Autumn, you have a very interesting life. A lot of unique qualities that I find wouldn't work in any relationship / living.
Yeah.
And it's curious to me how you've ended up with someone as talented.
Bruce.
Bruce. Just curious if you guys like each other.
I have one word.
Okay.
Pegging?
Question mark.
If Bruce asked you to peg him, would you?
I guess it would depend on like the heft and weight of the dildo, because I'm not like that strong. So if you needed like a really big, like heavy one, I'd probably.
Well, he
be
just
able
wants
to.
like a butt plug, kind of.
Oh yeah, I could do that for him. Easy.
So we actually
Something
didn't
like a
write down-
plunger in a dry toilet.
What do you think about all the speculation that's happening on Reddit?
I
Are
don't
you
know.
offended?
I don't know why they're speculating, because we've literally said we're dating.
Why do you
Wait.
think people care so much about who other people are seeing? I think that's a real interesting part
Are
about this.
Autumn and Bruce a bit? There was a comment in the last podcast that said, "Are Sammy Joe and Kib a bit?" I was like, "Go to their Instagram."
Why is it that people care so much? Because I remember when I was watching SourceFed back in the day, like a long, long time ago when I was still kind of a kid, I would care a lot about the relationship dynamic between some of the hosts. I'd like speculate myself about what's going on in their personal lives.
Because it's characters you care about.
I think it's because you have an idea of what their relationships are based on what you see on the camera, and you want them to be the same. But it's also interesting if it's not. So you're trying to figure out if it's close to what they're presenting or if it's different.
You answered your own question by saying that you used to do that.
Yeah, no, so I didn't need any explanation at all. Yeah.
But you got it.
How did it start? Like, how did you guys first get to talking and like realize that you were made for each other?
Compatible.
Do you guys
at least.
mate?
Have you considered conception?
That day that we went to Funhouse, so like Bruce and I had met before, but like we just talked. We weren't like flirting or whatever. But the day that we went to Funhouse, we were just like talking, and we'd both been single for a while. So we talked in his car when we were driving to lunch.
Yeah, you guys have been single for a long time.
And you ate him out?
We just talked, and he asked me out to drinks, and then we got drinks, and we just got along really, really well. So
I remember that. I love talking to Bruce during the whole like, "Oh, are you guys gonna see each other? Do you like her?"
And I remember you telling me, I was like, oh, where are you headed? And you're like, oh, I'm going out to drinks. I was like, huh, with who?
With
And you're like-
whom?
And you were like, it's not a date. It's just not. I don't think either of us are thinking it's a date. And I'm like,
fucking
I remember when you told me you're like gonna get drinks with Bruce, and I was like, oh shit, really cool. And I'm like, are you gonna do anything? You're like, no. And then like you told me like you guys talked about like, no, we don't want to do that or
Yeah,
anything.
we
And then
totally
instantly the next
did.
day, you guys are in love.
I know. That's
living
exactly
together.
what happened. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. We just we both like each other a lot. So you know.
Hot
what do you have
heavy.
to say to all the haters?
What?
This is your platform to speak out against the hate.
I hate that voice coming out.
So
of you.
what would you say to people that just don't like not talk about this?
What? Well, I mean, I guess I'll say the only weird thing that people have been saying is like the age difference thing, which I understand. Like he's 13 years older than me, But
gives
to
a
be
shit?
13
fair,
years old.
I actually, when I was 19, I dated a guy who was a lot older than me. And that was the bad kind of age gap because he was an asshole and he took advantage of me. And we were also in very different stages of life because I was going to college and he was like 29. And so he, you know, he had already like
was
done
also
all
going
of
to
that.
And how old are you now?
I'm 23.
You're 23.
Yeah. And I've been like doing 9 to 5 production jobs for like 3-4 years. So
And
It's
women
because you've matured yourself a lot.
And women in
so.
general are more mature than guys.
Women are
in
supposed
general.
to outlive men by a decent amount.
I've heard that too.
This is going to really suck for you.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Have you thought about that
Well,
consistently?
he's gonna die first anyways.
Yeah,
dude.
you're going to have a solid 15 years of your life, maybe even more, maybe 20 years without him.
No, it makes me sad.
when you're 90.
You're going to be in a retirement home.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be long gone.
It'll be just like The Notebook.
Dude, retirement homes
You're
are
gonna start forgetting.
You're gonna lie in a
Good.
bed together, and you're both gonna hope that you die together, but you'll still wake up in the morning and he'll be dead.
You're gonna be like semi-sprint chicken, 60 years old.
So sad.
He's
Oh
gonna be
my
on his
God.
deathbed, and it's just gonna be a nightmare for you emotionally.
He's gonna be shitting
Yeah, it's
himself,
gonna be really
pissing
bad.
himself, and you're gonna be
Pissing
just so
He's gonna be
okay
kicking
with
at
it.
his ass.
slapping his ass.
He's gonna do this thing where he has a spoon and he puts the spoon in the freezer for like an hour, and then what he does is he just presses it against his asshole and gets it stuck. And he's gonna be like,
Help me.
My tongue's stuck to the spoon. It's cold.
What are you gonna do in the next 20 years or so when he starts experiencing erectile dysfunction?
Then I'll peg him. We're talking about this.
I'm fucking with you. No, I think it's an interesting thing that like.
I'm happy for you
clearly
guys.
Oh,
yeah,
so
absolutely.
happy.
Thank you.
We've
We love
wanted this
Bruce.
since the inkling of an idea that you guys might.
I
Go
know.
on a date.
Steven
We
brought it
wanted
up
this.
to me a million times over and over forever. That's
My
why I don't blame you.
worry is that
So much.
someday
He's great.
she's just gonna go work at Funhouse because
I can't now.
That is because
Is
you're
that a
dating?
conflict of interest?
Yeah,
But I
absolutely
mean, it's
it
not
is.
a legal
would
conflict of
still hire
interest.
you.
Yeah, but I wouldn't do
It
it.
could still
what about
happen.
James and Elise.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
no, it's
they've
fine.
been married for a long. I wouldn't want to work with someone.
You
that
say
I-
that now to comfort us, but when you leave, I
Guys,
will bring
if
this
I
up
had-
and guilt you into staying.
Instantly
If I
offered
wanted to work
just a
at
small amount
Funhouse,
more
I would have
money.
I saw
left
your resume
a long
on 'em.
time ago.
On
That
your
was-
screen, printing.
That was when SourceFed ended, and I was trying to find a job after Group 9.
You know what? I get that because you still have things on your computer that you don't want there. I still have Kib's nude on my computer.
And you want it there.
The photo, the roll
Absolutely, I don't. It goes. I see it every time I render, and it's in an inconvenient window that I forget to delete it on.
I'm going to make it your background because the car that is currently on your background is so bad.
No, it's a Diablo GT. It's the coolest car ever.
So Steve has a car as
Thank you
the
guys so much
background
for the
of his
podcast.
computer and his
I
phone.
think cars are cool.
He's got
Is that a crime? I don't think so.
He's got a Hot Wheels car up for his phone
It's not a
background.
Hot Wheels car.
And it's the same image for his screen on his computer, and it's so funny to me.
It's not funny. It's a cool car. Everybody likes cars.
No, how many of you out there have cars for the background of your phone?
Kids had car posters and when
Kids
on their
do.
walls.
Kids do.
Dude, his eyes are wandering.
I love it. Kids do. You're right.
Awesome. Thank you so much to Vincero Collective and Quip for sponsoring this podcast. This was episode 15. You can get it on iTunes. We have some new merch available as well. Please help us out in any way you can because we don't have a Patreon. We're not planning on making one. Thank you guys so much for watching.
You wanna
I'm
go play
Steven-
with
I'm,
this Hot
I'm not
Wheels
going to go
car?
play with Hot Wheels. Nobody. Okay, Freed, what's your question real quick? What is it? Come on. Question.
Call it.
Okay,
Just
thank
call it.
Yeah.
Was that worth it? Doesn't even sound like the guy.
No, but I liked it.
Call it.
Call it.
Call it.
Call it. Just call it.
You're a bit deaf. You're a bit deaf.
I've abandoned my boy.